Welcome back. In this video, I'll show you what kind of content you need to maximize your English development. And I'll give you a hint now. It's not Netflix. If you understand most of what I'm saying, you're in the right place. Subtitles are there to help. I'm pleased to see you again for this fifth key of learning English. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you're learning something every day in this course that will be useful for your English learning. Today, we're going to look at together the best type of content, podcasts, and videos. Content that will hold your interest and keep you motivated. As we've seen in earlier videos, it's important to watch the same content several times to help your brain remember words and phrases in the natural way. Watching or listening to the same thing several times was also something I never wanted to do, and something I did not integrate until I started learning Italian. I'm happy to report that not only is listening to the same content not boring at all, it definitely helps you remember words and phrases and just generally improves your comprehension. Obviously, if the content is not good or interesting, it will be impossible to listen to it more than once, let alone 20 or 30 times. That's why today I want to give you the fifth key, which is a strategy that few know about and a strategy that few understand and apply to their language learning. This is because this strategy is difficult, first of all, because there is a lack of appropriate content available. However, with my YouTube channel, I hope to fix this so it won't be a problem for you to find the right content. My recommendation for you is to learn English while improving your life. Every human being desires to improve their lives. By nature, we want the best for our families, our friends, and for our health. And we will see exactly what this means for learning English. As we saw in Rule 2, to achieve a high level in English, it's essential to listen to the same content several times. Again, we will never achieve this if we lose motivation after the first listen. Luckily, when I was learning French, I found a podcast that fixed the problem for me. Instead of talking about usual learn language topics like grammar or phrases to use in business meetings, the episodes were about interesting things like history and the culture of France, told in an interesting way, with French a bit slower than in real life and with vocabulary words chosen carefully. The topics, however, were also the main point, and I was able to improve my French so fast and in such an enjoyable way, which led me to want to create the same thing for English learners. In fact, I'm an English lecturer at a business university in Germany. And after discovering this French podcast and reaching an advanced level in French after a pretty short period, I knew that I could no longer teach and design my courses in the traditional way. I've lived now in Germany for about 15 years and didn't know about these methods I'm now explaining in these videos until 3 years ago. So yes, I've reached a near native level in German, and I always understood the importance of speaking the language as much as possible. And I used a lot of these keys I'm talking about now, but only unconsciously and not in a way that would have been more effective. But after learning French in this natural, pleasurable, and super effective way, also, this is important to know, I don't live in France and don't have the same advantages to learning this language like I do in Germany. So after achieving a high level in French, I could no longer teach English courses in the traditional way, which is why I'm now creating content on YouTube to make up for this lack of interesting, motivating content directed for intermediate and advanced learners of English. Once you understand how effective learning through comprehensible input is, and once you understand the importance of listening to the same content several times, you truly comprehend how important the selection of the content is. Then the question becomes, why not listen to something I've always wanted to know, or something that helps improve my life, all while listening to the target language, English. This language that so much of the world speaks and can open so many doors and opportunities. In another video, I'll show you the tool I've found most useful to combine with content. And once I've made it, I will link it in the description below. For now, I want you to understand the importance of selecting the right content for you to listen to several times. Again, I'm not necessarily one of these people who's obsessed with productivity and becoming the most efficient user of time in the world. And when I came across the Italian YouTube channel that teaches in the comprehensible input way, like I learned in French, I was skeptical about the topics like keeping a positive attitude and the importance of simplicity. Personally, I'm more interested in topics like history, cultural trends, and politics, and sometimes business. By the way, my YouTube channel has videos on all these topics, as well as natural conversations with friends. But I also include topics that focus on positivity and mental health and personal development, because I've experienced myself that when you combine these topics while learning a language, life can become all the more fulfilling and joyful. And I'm sure by now some of you are thinking, okay, this is enough. I just want to learn English. I don't need to improve my life. The first thing I would say is, don't worry, I create content on plenty of other topics. But the second thing I would say is, improving our lives doesn't mean that we aren't happy right now. It simply means that we still want to create and discover new things. Which is why I've created this YouTube channel with content to help aid you in not just learning English, but in discovering so many useful things. All my videos come with subtitles, and all transcripts to the videos are available on my website. I will put the transcript to this video in the link in the description. In this way, you can learn English in the most efficient way possible without wasting any more time on grammar. Instead, you will learn English directly through content that interests you, where you can understand words through the larger context, all the while immersing yourself in real content that improves your life. Let me give you another example. If you only listen to the news or radio every day, you would probably become a very pessimistic person, because the majority of the time, what's discussed in the news are the worst things that happened in any given day. For whatever reason, we human beings are attracted by negative news, and this is what grabs our attention the most. If we only listen to these things every day, all day, we would be convinced that the world is a terrible place and everything is going wrong. These thoughts often influence the way we think and view the world, and is a long subject for another day perhaps. What I want you to understand now is that the opposite is also true. If you regularly listen to positive messages, you will also think and act positively. Think about it. Wouldn't it be great to start your day by learning something super interesting, like, I don't know, the story of Steve Jobs and storytelling in business, or about Martin Luther King and the power of nonviolent protests? These types of stories and content contain positive messages and will help you remain positive and inspired, all the while helping you add English to one of the languages you speak and use. This is what I mean by the fifth key when I say learn English while improving your life. Again, my content is full of all sorts of topics, both on contemporary American society, as well as interesting events in the past. I talk about sports, personal development, language learning, business innovation and culture. Plenty of content that will not only improve your English comprehension, but will keep you engaged and motivated. I hope. This type of listening will be better for your learning because 1. Your motivation will be high. 2. The fact that you should listen several times will become a pleasure. 3. You'll learn English directly and naturally through topics that will give you context to understand other words you may not know. 4. You will develop in other areas of your life. In closing, I will repeat all the keys to learning English we have looked at together. 1. Listen to a lot of English. 2. Repeat, repeat, repeat. 3. Use your dead time. 4. Do a little every day, relaxed and stress-free. And today, number 5, learn English while improving your life. If these videos are helpful for you, you can support this channel by liking the video or subscribing. It really helps other learners find the content. And if you feel like it, leave a comment. I read them, and it helps me know what kind of content is most useful for you. I congratulate you for making it this far, and I'll see you tomorrow for Rule 6. There are only 2 rules left, so don't give up and keep believing in yourself. Before you move on, remember, listen to English you understand, listen to it more than once, and do a little every day, relaxed and without stress. If this video is helpful, listen to it again another day. And when you're ready, I'll see you in the next video where we'll look at the next key to learning English.